everybody, what is up? It is LYNN back once again with another little drama video for you. This one, wow, we're going to get into the part 2 of the Call Her Daddy podcast that went up with Jamie Lynn Spears. I've already done a video about the part 1 of this and what happened after that. Now I'm going to get into the part 2 while I'm continuing to paint my face. Done a little bit of a kind of a drag eye. I don't know what else I'm going to do on this side of my face. I might do something completely different. But I thought, hey, you know, while I'm sitting here doing my makeup, being as I've got notes about the part 2 Call Her Daddy podcast with Jamie Liar Spears, we are going to get into it. So I'm not going to get really deep into this, but I'm just going to start with my thoughts about the whole Call Her Daddy podcast part 2 with Jamie Lynn Spears, of course. Now, a lot of people were outraged that Jamie Lynn was even being given a platform by the host of the Call Her Daddy podcast, and rightly so, in my opinion. You know, I'm gonna talk about it a little bit, but I watched it, and honestly, I watched the video of it on Spotify, and honestly, just from watching it, it kind of annoyed me. It really kind of annoyed me, because Jamie Lynn is on there talking about how difficult this whole experience has been for her, and just saying that she's tried to help Britney to get out of the conservatorship. She talked about a time when she and Britney were on a trip in Hawaii with their kids, and she said that she told Britney she'd found out that if Britney came and lived with her for 6 months, because she'd be living in Louisiana, you know, living in a different state, that if Britney lived with Jamie, her sister, for 6 months, then that would have apparently made the conservatorship like void, null and void, and that would have dissolved it, so Britney would have been free. According to Jamie Lynn, that is what Jamie Lynn Spears said. She also talked a lot about how she thought that Britney's lawyer wasn't doing the best for her, didn't really have Britney's best interests at heart. And then Jamie Lynn did something that, in my opinion, she really should not have done. Jamie Lynn exposed text messages from Britney Spears, and to me that was really disappointing. That was really awful. You know, why are you on a public podcast exposing Britney Spears' texts, private texts to her sister Jamie Lynn, and she's there exposing them? And I was like, girl, no, this is not the way. This is really not the way to go about something as delicate as this, when you're talking about like serious mental health stuff, a conservatorship, somebody like Britney who's been, you know, basically held captive for the last 13 years of her life, and then you've got her younger sister Jamie Lynn doing these interviews exposing Britney's text messages, things that Britney has said to her in private, things that she's said to Britney in private. It was just very ugly to watch. Ugly to see Jamie Lynn doing that on a public podcast, on a public interview. I was like, you know, people are going to watch this, and I think some people might be convinced by Jamie Lynn's lies, but I don't think I was. You know, after watching this part 2, what I did, I looked at something that had come out, you know, just beforehand, just prior to that. There was a receipt, you know, because Jamie Lynn was saying that she didn't have anything to do with the conservatorship. She was no part of it. She was never trying to take Britney's money, all of this. But there was a receipt that came out on social media which proves otherwise. There's a receipt that proves that Jamie Lynn was actually trying to take Britney's money while she was in the conservatorship. Jamie Lynn was over there trying to take Britney Spears' money and put some of it into Lou Taylor's investment firm. It's like, you know, you're going on a podcast, Jamie Lynn, saying one thing, you know, trying to make the public feel sorry for you, crying, trying to squeeze out tears and saying that it's been really hard for you and everything. But really, behind the scenes, Jamie Lynn Spears was trying to actually steal from Britney, trying to take Britney's hard-earned money. So, like, it just makes me a bit sick to see, you know, Jamie Lynn lying her arse off on this podcast to try and swing the public favour towards her, when there is receipts and there's proof of otherwise. There is also another receipt that's come out that shows that Britney's family put like mics and things around her room to record her in private, so to record conversations, etc., in private. This is like a serious violation of Britney's human rights. You know, I feel like it's a bit Captain Obvious to say that at this point, but this is a serious violation of Britney, an adult woman's human rights. And now this family, this vile family, are trying to milk it even more financially by doing things like going on podcasts, giving interviews. They're trying to get even more out of the situation by going public and talking about it publicly. And I just feel like none of this is actually fair on Britney Spears. This is all really kind of degrading to have, you know, dirty laundry, dirty family laundry aired out in public like this.
Like, what do I know what's normal and what's not? Like, this seemed to be the way things were. So for me, she told me she was wanting to, she didn't like the way certain things were happening, so I gave her the number of judges. I put her in I talked to her lawyer on the phone, which blew up in my face, and everybody turned against me.
Why?
Because I guess maybe that lawyer wasn't going to get a paycheck if he didn't have a job, so why did he need me fucking infringing on his rights? Right?
So when you say that your sister like finally was just like, I don't like this setup, like when exactly?
I think it was like, for me, she just kind of felt like maybe she didn't want anything to do with any of this shit anymore, you know? And if that's the case, then like that's the case. Her decision. Like, one particular time we were in Hawaii, we went on this trip together, and we obviously are like with our kids there, and we're every night just staying up talking or whatever, and like that was really when one of the times I can remember honkering down with her, and like she was expressing things to me, which obviously are her things to express, but into my point of view, it felt like things she deserved to have the right to talk to somebody. So I did. I spoke with her lawyer and I told him a lot of shit, and it went nowhere, and then people got mad at me.
Well, we ran some tests over here at the surgery, and the results, they said diabetes, Jamie Lynn, diabetes. Like, come on, there is a receipt that shows Jamie Lynn trying to steal Britney's money. And there's Jamie Lynn in that clip there you saw on that bloody podcast saying, oh, I did everything I could to help my sister. I was my sister's biggest supporter. No, you weren't. No, you fucking weren't. No fucking way, Jamie Lynn. Bold-faced lies. I'm telling you, lies. Honestly, it makes me sick to see that. When you know that Jamie Lynn has been trying to steal from her sister, benefiting from her sister the whole time that this conservatorship was in place, living off her sister's money, like her father was too, and yet she's got the gall to sit there on a public podcast and insist that, oh, she did everything she could to help her sister. Nah. And then you've also got Sam, Britney's ex-manager, who is still posting on his Twitter account. He's put up like an entire thread of tweets talking about the Spears family and basically dissing them, showing them for what they really are. You know, all of that information is out there, so you guys can go and check that for yourselves. But I'm just like, at this point, I'm just like, when is enough with the lies? You know, Jamie Lynn, stop it. When is enough? Britney has also responded to some of this, saying that Jamie Lynn would be at home, getting waited on hand and foot when she was 12 years old, and that Britney never had a life like that, you know, because Britney was working. Like at 16, Britney's career blew up and her life changed. She was always working. But Jamie Lynn apparently used to get treated like a little princess, and I don't understand how two sisters in the same family have been treated so differently. It sounds awful. You know, it sounds like Britney was always the one that kind of got the short end of the stick. And this is Hollywood as well, right? This is Hollywood. I want to know why Jamie Lynn's lawyer thought it was a good idea that she published this book and that she do this now. You know, I really want to know, because clearly they're doing this, the Spears family are doing this. It looks like they're all doing this to get back at Britney for the fact that they now can't live off of Britney's money and Britney's finances any longer. You know, it looks like they're all doing this because they're now going to have to make their own money. It sucks. It's awful. It's horrible. I feel sorry for Britney in the entire situation, and I just hope that that family don't fucking leech off of her anymore. Leeching off of her work, her name, everything that she has built in her career and earned rightfully. That fucking family need to just exit. Leave her the fuck alone. You know, can you blame Britney for not wanting to live with her sister? She's an adult woman, right? And she's got children of her own. Like, who wants to go and live with their sister to get out of a conservatorship when they've got their own family, they've got their own kids, they've got their own life, you know? Who would want to give up their own personal space to go and live with their sister? No, you know, that's ridiculous, you know, especially somebody like Britney, you know, who's earned enough money to live comfortably on her own. That's so fucking degrading to ask her to then go and live with her sister to end a conservatorship. Plus, if she was living with her sister, I feel like the family, the father and the mother, all still would have been, you know, getting far too involved in Britney's life. That would have sucked, you know. Jamie Lynn is just a piece of work at this point. But we're going to move on. I'm going to move on to a completely different topic now. Because drama channel Dustin Dailey, one of the OG kind of beauty drama channels, or at least that's how I've known of him mainly. He has been suspended permanently from Twitter for a completely fucking ridiculous reason. And the reason being that he shared a TikTok with a Celine Dion song in it. Yeah. So, like, I don't know what's going on with Twitter, but it seems that they're getting very, like, over kind of zealous with what people post. Because even I was banned, well, not banned, I've been put in Twitter jail. I'm in Twitter jail until the morning. Yeah, I got like a 12-hour suspension on my account, but that was because I said something to a journalist. So that was my fault. But Dustin Dailey, like, he didn't even do anything. So, like, he's been permanently suspended, lost his Twitter account for nothing, for doing a TikTok that a load of other people do. Dustin made a video on it on his YouTube channel. But, like, it's kind of sad, you know, to go to Twitter and not see Dustin Dailey there now. Because I used to see him on Twitter every day, and now it's like, oh, you know, he's not there anymore. It sucks. I like Dustin. So I'm like, oh, it's a bummer, you know? Okay, loves, I am going to go finish off this makeup look and try and do something. Take some pictures, some TikToks, whatever, I don't know. So, I'm going to say take care, stay safe, stay well. Let me know what you think about all the shit that is going on with Jamie Lynn and Britney Spears. I mean, at this point, I really don't think anyone is in Jamie Lynn's favour anymore. So, let me know what you think about all of that. And also, let me know what you think about Dustin Dailey getting suspended on Twitter. I love you guys. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.